If you're planning to visit places like Interlaken, Lauterbrunnen or Grindelwald, the chances are high you've come across the Berner Oberland Pass. Now, a lot of travelers see this pass and immediately think, perfect, one ticket that covers everything in the region. But before you buy it, there are a few things you should understand. Because this is Switzerland Insider, my name is Greg, I'm Swiss, and with me, we'll travel Switzerland properly. The Berner Oberland Pass is a regional travel pass designed for the Bernese Oberland region of Switzerland. It's not a national pass like the Swiss Travel Pass. Instead, it focuses on one specific part of the country, mainly the area around Interlaken, the Jungfrau region, and the surrounding mountain valleys. The pass exists because many different transport companies operate in this region. You have regional railway companies, boat operators, bus networks, and a lot of private mountain railways and cable car companies. Now, instead of each company selling completely separate tickets, they work together and accept one combined pass. That ticket is the Berner Oberland Pass. Now, with this pass, you can travel freely across a large part of the Bernese Oberland network for a certain number of consecutive days. You can buy the pass for 3, 4, 6, 8 or 10 days, and it comes in first and second class versions. Now, one important thing to understand is that the pass covers a defined area and it's actually larger than many people expect. For example, the network stretches from Lucerne in the east to Bern in the north, down to Brieg in the south, and even Montreux on Lake Geneva in the west. So, even though it's called a regional pass, it connects quite a big part of Switzerland's scenic railway network. Now, within that area, the pass gives you access to several different types of transport. That includes regional trains, buses, lake boats, and many mountain railways and cable cars. But not all of these work in the same way. Some routes are fully included, some give you discounts, and a few mountain trips still require separate tickets. So to really understand the value of the pass, we need to take a closer look at what is fully included and what isn't. Now, if you're currently planning your trip and you're still trying to figure out which Swiss train pass makes the most sense, I actually created a free Swiss train pass guide that explains all the main options. You can download it as part of my Switzerland Planning Starter Pack. So let's talk about what is actually included in the Berner Oberland Pass. Because this is the part that really determines the value of the pass. The pass covers three main things: regular transportation in the region, a number of mountain railways and cable cars that are fully included, and then a long list of discounts for other attractions and excursions. Let's start with the mountain transport that is fully included, because this is where some of the biggest value actually comes from. One example is the Schilthorn, the famous mountain above Mürren that many people visit for the panoramic views and the James Bond connection. Another big one is the Brienz-Rothorn Railway, the historic steam railway that runs from Brienz all the way up to the summit. Both of these are fully included with the pass, and they would normally be quite expensive if you bought the tickets separately. Then there are several other cable cars and mountain railways that are also included. For example, the lifts up to Männlichen. That means the cable car from Wengen and the gondola from Grindelwald. Another well-known mountain railway that's included is Schienige Platte, which is a beautiful historic train ride with incredible views over Lake Thun and Lake Brienz. Then you also have mountains like Niersen, which is the pyramid-shaped mountain above Lake Thun, and Niederhorn, which is a very popular viewpoint and hiking area close to Interlaken. Now, both of these are included as well. There are also smaller excursions included in the pass, for example Pfingsteck next to Grindelwald or Engstligenalp near Adelboden. That is a large alpine plateau that is very popular for hiking and its waterfalls. So as you can see, the pass already has quite a few mountain destinations covered. And beyond the famous ones I just mentioned, there are actually many additional smaller cable cars and lifts included across the region. Now, these are often local mountains that are great for hiking or viewpoints but they're usually not the first places international visitors put on their itinerary. Still, they are part of the network and can add value if you explore the region more deeply. Now, besides the routes that are fully included, there are some well-known mountains where the pass gives you a discount. For example, Lauterbrunnen, the viewpoint above Interlaken, where you get a 50% discount. The same goes for Grindelwald first, which is another very popular excursion with activities like the cliff walk and mountain carts. And then there is the big one that many travelers ask about, Jungfraujoch. Now, the Berner Oberland Pass gives you a 25% discount. Now, this is a discount, but it's definitely not a free ride to this probably most expensive mountain in all of Switzerland. And finally, the pass also includes a number of additional discounts for attractions and activities across the region. For example, you get reduced prices for places like the Ballenberg Open Air Museum, which is a large museum showing historic Swiss houses and traditional life. You can also get discounts for castles around Lake Thun, like Spiez Castle or Oberhofen Castle. On top of that, there are also discounts for certain outdoor activities and experiences throughout the Berner Oberland. Now that we've looked at all what's included, the next question is the important one. Here's how much the Berner Oberland Pass actually costs. The pass is available for 3, 4, 6, 8 or 10 consecutive days, and the price increases depending on how long you want to use it. Now, if you like the Berner Oberland so much, you can also buy additional add-on tickets for 2 days so you can stay a little bit longer. Now, one thing you'll notice right away is that the longer the pass, the cheaper it becomes per day. For example, if you take a 3-day pass, the price per day is relatively high. But if you go for a 10-day pass, daily costs drop quite a bit. So if you stay longer in the region and actually use the pass every day, the value improves significantly. Now, there is one very important detail that many travelers don't realize. If you already have a Swiss half-hour card, you can buy the Berner Oberland Pass at a reduced price. And this discount is quite significant. So if you're already planning to buy the half-hour card for your trip, the Berner Oberland Pass suddenly becomes much more attractive financially. Another good thing to know is that the pass is very family friendly. Now, children between 6 and 15 years old pay a flat price of 30 Swiss francs no matter how many days the pass is valid. So if you're already traveling with kids, that can make the pass much easier to justify. And of course, children under 6 years old already travel for free on public transportation in Switzerland. Now, even though the Berner Oberland Pass can offer good value, it is still a fairly large upfront cost. So the real question becomes, when does it actually save you money, and when would it be cheaper or better to have another ticket or another pass instead? So now we get to the big question. Is the Berner Oberland Pass actually worth it? And the honest answer is, it really depends on your itinerary. The pass can save you a good amount of money if you travel a lot inside the Berner Oberland and combine several mountain excursions with trains, buses and boats. But there's also a very common mistake that many travelers make. People often look at the list, what's included, see a few mountains that are covered, and then immediately decide to buy the pass. But in my eyes, that's not really how you should approach it. Instead of only looking at what's included, you should look first at your overall travel plan. Where are you staying? How many days are you actually moving around? And how many of those included mountains do you realistically plan to visit? Because if you end up doing only 1 or 2 of those excursions, the math can look very different. Now, on the other hand, if your trip is heavily focused on the Berner Oberland, then this pass can be fantastic. For example, if you stay several days in places like Interlaken, Grindelwald, Lauterbrunnen or Wengen, and you plan to explore different valleys, take boats on the lakes and visit multiple mountains. In that situation, the Berner Oberland Pass can be extremely convenient, and it can also save you quite a bit of money. But once your trip extends beyond the Berner Oberland, the calculation can change. Now, if you travel further south into Valais, or you spend more time exploring different parts of Switzerland, then a regional pass might not be the best fit anymore. In those cases, something like the Swiss Travel Pass can sometimes make more sense because it covers the entire country and gives you more flexibility. So the key takeaway is simple. The Berner Oberland Pass is excellent for exploring the specific region, but it's not automatically the best pass for every Switzerland itinerary. Now, if you're currently planning your trip and you're still trying to figure out which Swiss train pass makes the most sense, I actually created a free Swiss train pass guide that explains all the main options. You can download it as part of my Switzerland Planning Starter Pack. I break down the Swiss Travel Pass, the Swiss Half-Hour Card, regional passes like the Berner Oberland Pass, and show you when each one actually makes sense. So if you want a guide, just check the link in the description below and you can download it for free. Now, if you found this video helpful, give it a like and consider subscribing for more insider tips and reviews of other train passes. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon around in Switzerland. Bis bald und tschüss.